I don't need one.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, well, now you can hear me when other people aren't talking. So my role is to both represent the life at the forest and also be the moderator, but I've never actually needed to moderate anything. But I am the official moderator in case it's needed. Today is the last in the series, as many of you might know, and I think it could be the most useful. What we have here are the people who are not directors of anything, but they provide service. So many of us come here being fit as a fiddle, as I like to think, although I'm looking around and some of that has passed. But sometimes our strings break and we go out of tune. And when that happens, these services are available to us. I know when I came here, I sort of heard about them, but I didn't actually know what they might provide. And so today, this is their opportunity and your opportunity to find out what kinds of services they provide when you need them. And most of us, some of you have already, which might, you might have testimonials or whatever you want to do with it. So I suppose without, and they're introducing themselves this time, so I'll get out of the way.
Going that way.
We're going to start here. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeremy Hicks. I'm a co-rehab director with Legacy Healthcare. We provide the therapy services here.
Hi, I'm Claire Devlin. I'm a rehab director along with Jeremy, so I'm also with Legacy. Oh, we're like at a top.
Oh, well, I thought we were just getting
Hi, I'm a little out of sorts. My name is Jennifer King, and I am one of the social workers here at the Forest. I work with all residents, last name letters A through K. Carissa Campbell would normally be here, but she is on her honeymoon. And her new name is Carissa Van Zyl. And so I'll be talking to you a little bit about our services and what we can provide for the residents here at the Forest.
I'm Taquita Collins. I'm with
Betsy.
See.
Oh my goodness, it's your pipes.
I'm sorry. It's one of our first names. So I'm with Home Care, and I'll talk to you about the services that we can provide.
And but they also importantly coordinate.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'll start with therapy services. So Legacy Healthcare is a company that provides therapy within the Forest at Duke. Legacy has been here since the Forest at Duke started. So we value the relationship we have with the residents here. And want to make sure if you need our services that we're here for you and that we can, as Daniel put it nicely, maybe a tune up if we need it, or if we need more than that, we can work on it too. I'm a physical therapist. We also have occupational therapy and we have speech therapy. I'm going to speak about physical and occupational therapy. Usually for those two, we kind of work hand in hand for most of the time. Physical therapy, both disciplines can work on your strength, whether it be upper body strength, lower body strength. We work on balance. We work on how you're walking around. We take a look, maybe you might be at a point where we might need to recommend for like an assistive device, maybe a walker or something like that. We can work on vestibular issues, dizziness, balance, that sort of stuff. Occupational therapy really delves into not only the strength part of it, but how is your day-to-day? How are you doing as far as getting dressed? How are you doing as far as eating? How are you doing with bathing? Getting around the community, if you need to go to the store or appointments, that sort of stuff. How are you doing? We take all of that into account. And once we've kind of exhausted where the therapy side of it is, we work hand in hand with Jennifer and Carissa with social work and Taquita to make sure that you guys are provided with the services that you need to get around safely and continue with your functional day-to-day activity and maintaining your quality of life within the Forest. Okay. It doesn't stop here within independent living. If for some reason, I know I'm going to say it's a bad word to everybody, but if you need to come to the health center, we'll also provide services there. Okay. That can be after a surgery, or maybe if we've had a fall. And you need to stay over there, we can work with you there. Usually typically we'll ask you what your goal is as far as what you want. Usually it's, I want to get back to my apartment. I want to get back to where I was before. And we'll try our hardest to get you there. That's not always possible, but that's where our focus is initially. And that happens usually working together with social workers and Takitha to make sure that you're provided services to maintain your safety and quality of life. So I'm gonna let Claire talk about speech therapy.
Yeah, so speech therapy tends to be the lesser known therapy. So speech therapy encompasses a lot of different areas that I help folks with. We can work on changes in memory and cognitive functioning. We can work on changes in swallowing. If you're having more difficulty swallowing pills, chewing your food, anything like that. If you are having trouble with speech, how loud your voice sounds, how well you can be understood. And then also language, which I know a lot of folks experience changes with their word finding as they age. So getting to these blocks in conversation that sometimes could feel embarrassing or stressful in conversation. So those are some areas that I work with for speech therapy. And just like Jeremy, you know, especially after something like a surgery, any kind of hospital stay, people might also find that they have changes with memory, swallowing, word finding, and it all happens, you know, together. If you have trouble with one area, you might notice trouble with another. So just like Jeremy and occupational therapy, I also can work with you in the health center and then kind of help with the transition back home as well. So yeah, any of that is maybe something you hadn't realized that speech therapy can help you with. I'm available to chat afterwards to answer any other questions.
How do we access your service?
Sure, we brought some contact information up here that you guys can take with you. What we need to start therapy is we have to have an order for it, and that comes from the doctor. Easiest is if you see the doctors here at the Forest. It's a pretty quick process. They just put the order in and we get you started. If you are seeing an outside doctor, we would just need you to contact them to get an order established there. And if you have any issues, you can contact us and we'll help you get set up, especially if it's an outside doc trying to get the order to us. Once we get the order, we'll call you, set up an evaluation. And if you need it, we'll get you on schedule.
Two questions. Do you in physical therapy, occupational therapy, accept Medicare assignment? And is speech therapy covered under Medicare?
Yes, speech therapy is covered under Medicare.
Is Medicare assignment is that an advantage?
No, that is, Medicare says, oh, you want to charge $200, we'll give you 47, and you say, fine.
That's typical for
Okay.
our entire industry. So we charge, well, we bill for your time, right? We bill only the time that we're working with you. So we usually map out appointments at an hour, but we're only billing for the time that we're actually doing therapy. That bill gets sent out to your insurance, Medicare, whoever it is, and they usually reimburse therapies 15 to 20% what the total bill is. So yeah, they handle that.
Does long-term care kick in then?
Long-term care is outside of, yeah, where therapy services are billed
Where does it start?
under Medicare. So if you're,
No. Where does your long-term care start?
when does your long-term care?
When?
I'll talk about
Yeah,
that.
that would be,
Okay.
yeah. I think so.
All right.
Okay.
Jennifer.
Thanks, thanks. I'm gonna stand up because it's easier for me to see everybody. So my name is Jennifer Kane, and I've been with the Forest for over 3 years. Carissa, who is our other social worker, has also been with the Forest for over 3 years. We are both social workers and work very closely with residents in independent living and in assisted living in the health center. So I had a resident say to me, well, why do I need a social worker in independent living? Well, I mean, we are resources for residents. If residents have the need for therapy services, sometimes they may call me and say, you know, Jennifer, how do I get therapy on board? I'm having this issue. They may have surgery coming up. Or have an incident in the home and need to go to the hospital and then need some additional services when they get home. Jennifer, how do we get these things set up? We work very closely with the hospital when a resident is there to see if they go home, are they going to have home health? Do they need home care? Do they need meals delivered? What is the plan that we need to coordinate? So we coordinate a lot of those things through the social work department. Residents may have questions about insurance. So long-term care insurance, each plan is different. There's usually an elimination period, meaning that you need to be on services for a period of time privately before they kick in. Some long-term care insurances, it's 60, others it's 120 days. And looking at each plan, it may start with home care and it may cover home care, or it may not start until someone moves into the health center and we start looking at that for day of admission. So if it's 90 days from day of admission is when long-term care insurance can help start reimbursing. So I can get off on topic really, really easily when it comes to insurance, but with many long-term care insurances, if you are in the health center and you're in assisted living or in the skilled nursing, and you file a claim, because the claim does come from the resident or their family, there's paperwork that we need to complete. So we do have our resident navigator, Jessica Hackett, which some of you know or will meet. And Jessica will contact the insurance or they'll contact her and send the appropriate forms that they need to show confinement. Why does this person need to be here? What's the diagnosis? Has the doctor signed off on it? And then there is a monthly form that she has to fill out either online or on paper, which is crazy that we still have paper, but some of them do. And then she has to send that off to them along with the previous month's bill so that they can reimburse the resident or reimburse their bank account for long-term care insurance. And I think some of you looking around the room have worked with long-term care insurance. I can tell you Jessica is known as a bulldog, meaning that she'd probably kill me if she heard me say that, but she will contact long-term care insurance if they're not getting the reimbursement back to the resident or their family in a timely manner. So she is very much an advocate for that. But that's a great question. A lot of times residents will call and be like, I got this thing from long-term care. It's talking about contingency plans. It's talking about an increase in my monthly premium. Can you come and just look at it with me? I can provide guidance or advice. I can't tell you what to do, but we just look at what is the rate and what could be the rate when you need to move to the health center and which type of choice you have and what's going to work best for you financially now and financially in the future. So that is one thing that I've worked a lot with residents on. Other things are, we can't actually help do Medicare D plans or anything like that during open enrollment, but there is an organization we can link residents with who can help with those plans. And then sometimes people will just ask me a few questions about it. My mother is on Medicare, and so each year I do review her Medicare D plan to make sure she's getting the most out of it. So, excuse me, I am able to at least tell people how to log in and look at their plan and things like that if they like to do that themselves. So, so insurance is one area that we could definitely help with. Then also linking people with home care. So if a resident is in the health center and needs some additional services just to help that hump of going home, to keep this group, which she'll talk to you about, can definitely help you with that, either through a companion or through a home care aide to assist with those needs. And then also if residents are starting to have a little bit of issue in their home. So say, I'm doing really great at everything else, but I'm having a hard time taking a shower. Home care can help with that. The Forest of Duke is not an age and place community. So people, as people have more needs, physical, cognitive needs, those are things that we talk about in terms of when is it going to be time to get additional services in the home? When is it going to be time to talk about transitioning to the health center? That's a lot of my job as well. But I always say, unless it's an emergency, it should not be a surprise if you need to move to the health center permanently. That is something we talk about over our time together. I try to get to know residents when they first move in or shortly thereafter. After people get settled, I don't want to overwhelm them in the first month. Why is the social worker coming to see me after I just moved into this place? But I want to develop that relationship so that people feel comfortable when it is time to talk about any kind of needs that they have. Or I went to see the doctor and they said this, what is this all about? We can provide some of that guidance as gerontological social workers, geriatric social workers. That is our area of expertise. So Chris or I can look at those things and help sort of navigate, what the doctor's talking about, what the next steps are, to help with those things. So we are really a link to resources in the community. I've met with residents to talk about, advanced directives. I moved here from a different state. I need to look at my living will and healthcare power of attorney. Can you come and we can talk about this? I need to choose a funeral home, or I need to choose, cremation. Help me figure out what are some of the area, organizations that provide that. Or, the person who used to be my healthcare power of attorney can't do it anymore. So it's going to be the secondary person. Can you help us update the files at the forest in order to do those things? So again, if you think of social work, think of us as a link, a resource to get you other resources that you might need. We are not here to just kidnap people in the middle of the night on the golf cart and take them to the health center, because that's the thought in many people's head. I actually had a quick story. There was a resident, I worked with him and his wife for a period of time, and he needed more support than his wife could provide or home care could provide. So it was decided, it's best for him to move to the health center. So it was a Monday morning. This was all planned out. Went to his home, helped his wife pack up things, helped him get into the car, met them over at the health center, helped him get to his room, helped him and his wife unpack. We had our first quarterly care meeting, and the gentleman said, I don't know why I'm here. 2 men came in the middle of the night and took me from my home and brought me here. So even though we do the correct thing, sometimes people have those things in their mind and they can't get it out. So please know that we are not here as the mean people to come in and take you away. We are here as resources and people that we want to build relationships with you to help get to know you better, to help provide support during your time here at the forest, and to really be a resource for everyone, so that you have what you need to be successful in your life. So, question.
Do I understand correctly that there's a plan to hire a third social worker because of the terrorists in population?
That's what I've heard.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
I've heard that it is, yes, that we are, but I haven't seen anything in writing. But doesn't mean others haven't seen it in writing. Yeah, I hope so. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I've been paying just a fortune, a large part of my annual income for long-term care since I was 50. And I spoke to a friend here about a week ago and she said, I'm like, oh, look at all the daily long-term care. I have all this, and she said, you will never need that much here. You've really I wasted all this money. So I just want to find like a real insurance expert or whatever and to talk about what long-term care will cost someday if I live to be 130.
Mhm.
And So who would I sit? Could you help me find that person to really, because I think I want to pay less or stop. Every time they put it up, I'd always check yes, yeah. of
Yeah,
course.
and I could definitely meet with you to talk about that and look at those options. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I have 20-some years of experience working with them.
Well, I guess I really need to know what the forest
Yeah,
is
yeah,
gonna charge and,
yeah, and that's what I do with a lot of people.
way down the road.
Mhm.
And then if I'm paying way too much, I can stop
Mhm.
because it's so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's, one of the one of the great things about the forest, there's so many, is that when you buy into, to live here, when you do go to the health center at a permanent stay, the rate for our permanent stay in our health center compared to other health centers, either freestanding for profits or even other communities, because of the type of contract that we have, you pay substantially less. Whereas if you went somewhere outside of the forest, you might be paying $500, $600 a day. And at the forest, I think the current permanent rate is like $224 a day. So it's really like, yeah, most long-term care insurance policies will either cover the entire room and board cost or like a great portion of it. So if that's something that we could definitely do that
Okay,
together.
I'll definitely, because mine now, I have way higher coverage
Yeah,
and I've just been, I mean, you don't need it, I
Yeah.
don't think, so I want it, so I'll be.
yes, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am. Other questions? Oh, thank you. Takitha reminded me. We also have started, well, it's been going on for a while, a caregiver support group. So for residents who have spouses who either live with them or live in the health center, every other Thursday, we meet in the library conference room at 11, and we have a caregiver support group. So it's a time where, caregivers can sit and talk about their situation, get support from other people. We try to have additional resources there. It's really a great time. I always learn something new. And I think it's very helpful to those who have attended or who are attending, or even if you did care for your spouse or, a loved one, and you still have some of those residual feelings about that, you could come and, talk it out. So even though your loved one may not be with you anymore, you still, may have some feelings about that you can share, which is always helpful. So thank you all.
Can you repeat when that is?
That is every other Thursday. So next Thursday is the next one, and it's at 11 o'clock in the library conference room, the room back there. Yeah. So, and it should be on the monthly calendar, I think, the monthly life community life calendar. Right. Do you have something to say?
Hi, I want to get together with you to.
You can. Yes. Yes, my number is in the small book. They don't have like our names. It just says social worker, but I'm the first number.
This sheet.
Yes, and on the sheet, it should have my name, but in that small book, if you see, it says social worker and I'm the first number. Just think A through K is the first number. But yes, you can do that or email me and we schedule a time to get together. Yes. All right. Well, anyone who is A through K and you're new here at the Forest, I haven't met you yet. In the near future, I will be reaching out to schedule time just to say hello, give you my business card and tell you a little bit about myself and hear a little bit about you. And hope that we can work together. So thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep it up.
I'm not standing. Sorry. Can you hear me? Because
Yeah.
I do drop my volume from time to time. So I've been here. Well, in this role, I think I've been here a year.
Okay.
So I started out as a companion, PRN here, and then transitioned to this. I love it here. I will be honest, it's very nice. I also was at another CCRC. But I love it here because your residents are wonderful and the way that it's set up, really, like Jennifer said. You don't age in place, but you do have that transition, which is on me, because you know where you're going. So for home care, we are in apartment 2050 High Neighbor. Current, I don't know what's gonna happen to us when the terraces are built, whether we're staying there or going. But for currently, we are in apartment 2050. You can access us inside the building or you can access us on the outside. And most of you, I think I've seen walking all around the campus through the patio doors. So anytime you're there, if you want to stop in and just say hi or chat or get a cup of water or a bottle of water, just stop in. We're here, there most of the time. My phone number and email address will be on the cards and you're welcome to grab one before you leave. Jeremy and I, just as a point of reference, they're home health and we're home care. The difference is they have licensed and skilled professionals, the PT, the OT, and the speech. Whereas we don't have that entity. We have companions and CNAs to provide your services for you. So that's our difference in what we did. Now, in terms of how do you access us? Your social worker can make a referral. You can make a referral yourself. I've had people actually walk their neighbor into us and say, this is home care. This is what they do. This is what they did for us. So in a sense, that's your neighbor referring you or helping you get to it. And also your family can make those phone calls and say, hey, I think mama needs some support or daddy needs some support. And so we'll come in, we'll talk with you, we'll do an assessment, make sure we can meet your needs and offer our support for you. We currently bill in 2-hour increments is our minimum. We do have an hour increment, but that is at a premium rate and our rates are on the fee sheet. Things we can offer for you, shopping, errands, assisting you with medical appointments, assisting you with writing. It's almost like anything you can think of, you could provide it or offer it to us and we'll see if we can do it for you, okay? Very little that I don't go out of the box trying to help you with meeting your needs. I'll talk to you about afterwards, because I think I've come up with creative. And you know, transportation is nice here. We do offer the ability to drive your cars if you need to go to an appointment and transportation is not paid. We do only have specific drivers, so please don't wait till the last minute to ask for that because there are only certain people that are gone through the training to be able to drive. Okay, so not all of our team members are able to. We have Welcome Home, which is a program for new residents moving onto campus. It offers them 3 hours of assistance with packing, unpacking, and getting organized in their homes. Some of you that are actually, most of you that have already been here, not quite eligible for it, but just know new people coming on campus will have that. First aid home is for those that are coming from an acute setting where we offer you an out. If it's going and picking up a meals, helping you get your house organized, throwing out the food that's been in your refrigerator while you've been either at the health center or at the hospital, just trying to get you settled once you're back home so it's not as stressful for you. We also bill long-term care insurance, as Jennifer said before. And with us, when you get your Forest and Duke bill, we're added to that bill. So when you're paying one time. You're not having a separate bill to come in for you. Any questions? Yes, sir.
With medication,
So we cannot fill your pill boxes for you. We can talk you through filling your pill box to make sure that you're putting the right meds based on what the label says and what we're looking at for. But we cannot fill the pill box. We can go pick up your meds from the clinic or from the store. But we can't fill them.
but as a companion or whatever you want to call it, somebody could come in and help you take your pills or remind you. That kind
Absolutely.
of stuff. It's
Remind you to take the pills, and they can also do your blood pressure and your vitals.
Can they hand you your pills?
No, we cannot hand you your pills.
you need another companion thing.
Well,
No.
we can point at the bottle and you can let you know that that's the right bottle. Yes, ma'am.
You say team, how big is your team?
Right now we have about 20 people, but not all of them are working steadily, okay? So there's some that may work once a quarter, because we have probably 4 college students, so they're only here for this. Any other question? Yes, sir.
So what are the limits in terms of time or amount of service you provide? Are there any limits?
So, in, for someone who's either physically or cognitively changing, there is up to 4 hours of hands-on support a person can have. So I've had residents in the past who may have had 2 hours in the morning to help them get started and maybe 2 hours in the evening to help them go to bed, or meal delivery or meal preparation was a problem. So it was, during breakfast, lunch, and dinner, how do we make that work? Now, if someone's having an acute situation and may need a little bit more support, we can go up to 8 hours, but that's a very short period of time. We work closely with the resident and with Takitha about how we're looking at decreasing that time overall. And again, it's more the hands-on rather than the companion services is what the main concern is.
We provide support not only just in IL, but we're across the campus. So we also provide support in the healthcare centers.
Any other questions?
I'll just comment how wonderful it is to have these services here. No, thank you.
So you're gonna reach out to new residents. We don't have to go chasing them.
You don't have to chase me, Mr. Gordon. I read your name. It's like he's one of mine.
What's considered a new resident? I've been here 4 months. I
Okay.
never heard from you.
No, I usually give people at least 4 months. I think we did speak one time on the phone, but you were still unpacking. And so yeah. Yes, but I can give you a call in the next week or so. And schedule time to meet you. Mhm. You as well.
And
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
Are there any more, or anybody want to talk about the wonderful experiences they've had with any of these services?
Well, I appreciated both OT and PT.
As have I.
Thank you. Yes, you.
Unfortunately, the problem I had was not, anyway, it doesn't matter.
I wish I could say that we're 100% with everyone, but we try our best. And then if we get to a point where, we need to be evaluated and with other professionals, that sort of stuff, if we need further evaluations, there are people who recommend that. So
Jeremy gave it the old college try.
I did, but I'm happy we've had some. Really?
And I'm still doing the exercise.
Okay, yeah, that's a.
I accumulate all the physical therapy I have. Exercise is
And you're
accumulated.
right to work with.
Thank you.
No, did you pay them to stay?
Let's just, next topic.
Next time.
I've used you many times, but it's a phenomenal team. PTOT, it is really, it's wonderful.
I was gonna say also, I didn't get in, so right now we have, let's see, we have 2 full-time PTs, 1 PT who's helping out kind of half of the week. We have 2 physical therapy assistants. We have 2 full-time OTs, both Kim and Emily, who are great. I think some of you work with Stan, the other physical therapy, he's amazing. Claire with speech, and Devin is our other occupational therapy assistant. And the amount of experience that we have on our team, I think is a huge benefit, not only as a rehab director, because I can rely on our entire team to provide you guys the best service that therapy can provide. And then like Daniel was saying, if we need to, further evaluation outside of what we're able to do, we'll provide that also. We're also planning on doing talks once a month. And our next talk right now we're planning is going to be August 1st. So we're going to try and keep it on Fridays around 2 o'clock. And that one will be occupational therapy. We'll also be speaking, I think they're gonna talk a little bit about incontinence, which is a big issue that I think we don't talk about enough. But that we can also treat with therapy services.
I think the one thing I would like to leave you with, which many of you already know, is that when you're outside before you got here, all of this stuff is on your own. You have to know who to contact, maybe friends. Here, you don't have to do that. I mean, your friends might be helpful, I suppose, but you can contact anybody and they will connect you to other people. I mean, it really is, I mean, you don't have to think about who am I gonna call? Call any of them, because they work together. I think that Chiquita was understating the range of services they might provide, but anyway. I get all of it.
It's kind of hard with independent living because you look at, just like Jennifer in the healthcare center, you look at them as, I don't want that because it means something. And you look at home care as meaning that I'm declining, it's the next step. And that's not the case necessarily. It is supporting you and helping you to maintain yourselves in your home as long as possible. So when I say, there's a box, but we often try to think outside of that box. That is what I truly mean. Because we want to help you as much as we can to maintain your independence as long as it is feasible. I don't want to make promises that you can stay here forever, but you can't. But with the support, you can maybe stay a little longer than you expected. So if you have an idea that comes up, just because it's not on this list or it's sure, or it is a typical request, don't hesitate to ask, because there's sometimes lots of creativity that can happen. I mean, I know we've gotten calls from each other, 5 o'clock on Friday, can you do this? And the wheels start turning and we make it happen. So just don't hesitate to come with a request regardless of what it is. If I can't do it, I'll tell you, just like when he asked about the medications, we can't do that because of guidelines, but there's creative ways of, this is what the pill is. Okay, pick this, open the bottle, put it in your dispenser. So we can't, there are ways around some things sometimes.
As far as doing a balance evaluation. Oh, for the community, yeah, I mean, that's, we don't have one plan, but yeah, we can definitely put one together. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. We brought just a sign up sheet. If anybody in here is feeling like they might need therapy services, we could put your name and contact info down. Just if you're feeling like you need this. But that's good to know. Maybe we'll schedule another one.
Yes.
I want to thank your crew that put the series together. It's been absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
I've learned so much, so thank you.
Yes, there's a lot to learn. And it's useful to, as I said before, just ask. I mean, the range is beyond what we might imagine. And we pay a lot of money for it besides, so why not?
Hey, Takitha, you're speaking tomorrow and Friday also. Is that different from what you've done here?
In a sense, yes. I get Sharon with me tomorrow.
Will there be snacks?
Yeah,
We'll be there.
I got a bill for them yesterday. Everybody. Yeah. Coffee and conversation.
What is that? You'll speak with?
Coffee and conversation.
So you're part of.
And to be that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 10, Friday at 2.
And here.
If I
Not
can
here.
bring one.
Yeah, bring this. Right on here and this. All right, are we done?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
No.
With Sharon at work, so he does good. I
Can't handle it.
These are magnets for that's our office. So you always.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember working with me. I am now. I feel so much more feeling.